All right, we are ready now. Time's just at the top of the hour for us today. My name is Tanya, and I welcome you to this Comeback Yoga All Levels yoga class. Comeback Yoga is a nonprofit organization. We're based out of Denver, Colorado, and we serve veterans, active duty military, and your support team. The classes we offer are not only in person along the Front Range of Colorado, but we're here for you 24 hours a day on the YouTube channel. We offer beginning, all levels, level two, gentle, meditation, um, and it goes on and on and on. So be sure to check out some of the playlists that we have available for you, and you can practice for 45 minutes or less. Actually, I think we have some 10 and 15-minute classes. You can watch those. You can combine things. Just find something that is suitable for you wherever you are in the world or whatever you're feeling like for that day. This class is 45 minutes long, and we're going to be starting out with some warm up for the joints and then doing some bigger movements, some strengthening poses, and then back to the mat for some longer stretches, that kind of thing. We'll also be doing a little relaxation session part at the end for about 5 minutes. So you want to grab an exercise mat. If you have a blanket or a pillow or a cushion you want to sit on, I'm sitting on a blanket that's folded. uh, that's really helpful for me. You might be sitting in a chair. You might even be standing for starters here. So I just want to encourage you to just do what you can and just kind of meet yourself wherever you're at today. If there's something that feels maybe not quite right in your body, then don't do it or adjust as you need the positioning of the posture. You can also make it harder for yourself if you're wanting. I'll show some variations of some common poses that can support you either in making it more difficult or easier for yourself. We will be doing a balance pose today that may require, a little bit of support. Sometimes standing on one leg is not necessarily conducive to where we're at that day. So you might be near a wall or a piece of furniture or something that's sturdy. um, Getting familiar with my surroundings. Again, having the mat in the same orientation as mine is helpful. You can be facing the screen and we'll be mirroring one another. I'll be referring to this side as the plant that's on the floor, this side, the plant that's on a stand, and then the front is towards me, and then the back is away from me. So that's how I'll be referring to that. Um, Again, just do what you can, and we're going to go ahead and get started. So, finding yourself either sitting on that cushion or chair, and we're going to start out with just a little bit of breathing exercise here to get us into starting the practice. It brings us into the present moment, it brings us into our body so that as we move through the practice, that we're in tune with what's going on in our body. We use our breath during the yoga practice to support us moving in and out of postures, as well as when we're in a posture and if we're holding for any period of time, we are using our breath to support us. So I'd like to introduce you to the victorious breath today if you're not familiar with it. The victorious breath sounds kind of like the ocean, or if you're a Star Wars fan, Darth Vader. Some people will describe it as a Darth Vader breath. So it's happening more in the upper chest, maybe even at the back of the throat. Sometimes we consider it back here. The actions of the breath is like following or fogging a mirror. So you can hold your hand out in front of you and just pretend like you're fogging a mirror, or if you're cleaning your glasses, you That's that's the sensation of what we're looking for or what we're listening for. So your jaw is relaxed and can breathe in through the nose and then breathe out through the mouth, a long exhalation to really steam up that mirror. So it shouldn't cause any discomfort in the back of your throat or in your chest. It should feel smooth and regular. As you feel maybe even the muscles around your jaw, maybe even your neck and throat relax. Let's do another one. All right. So that's the action of the victorious breath. And now see if you can do that with the lips closed without, again, straining or causing any discomfort. A little harder to do. If it's helpful to continue to do it with, your jaw relaxed and your mouth open, you can do that. Otherwise, let's do 3 more like this. Breathing in easily, slowly in through your nose, feeling up, and then exhaling. So feeling your body widen. Exhale, relax. One more time. Good. And release that breath, and we'll just come to a natural breath. Hopefully, it feels natural. All right, great. Let's begin some movement, shall we? So, with that breath, bring the hands in front of your chest. Inhale, exhale, the arms go forward, round your spine, lean back a little bit, tuck your chin, get to the end of that exhalation. Inhale, bring your arms open. Exhale, arms forward. Inhale, hands to heart. Exhale, arms forward. Inhale, open. Exhale, forward. Inhale, hands to heart. And exhale, forward. Inhale, open. You can go at a different pace if you'd like. Yeah, we'll do 2 more rounds. If you find that your breath is a little different paced or a little, you know, just different, that's okay. Maybe if the exhale is with a different movement, the inhale is with another movement, that's okay. Just do what you can and meet yourself where you're at. All right. Very well. Let's do some side bending. So reaching up with one arm and then stretching over. You can use your hand for support. Mm. And then let's reach up and over. You might find little tightness in certain areas. And we'll do it again, up and over to the side and up and over. One more time each side. This is helping to bring in, of course, some openness through the torso, but you might even find that your breath gets a little bit easier as we bring this into our body. Okay, new move here. We're going to twist to the side, hand behind, and one hand supporting you. And if it feels okay on your neck, to look behind you. And then let's switch sides, adding that little twist, a little support as you rotate around. And then switching, coming back to that twist. And twisting other side. Good. New move here. Going to bring the hands to the legs. Maybe you want to change the cross of your legs for that same movement that we did with the robin's breath. But this time we're just going to hold on to our legs, moving forward and back. with the spine, and you can even lift your chin. Trying to get some tension out of along the spine. And find that victorious breath. Maybe again, if that's a comfortable breath, if you're not sure or doesn't feel right, then don't do it. All right, good. If you like to, just change the cross of those legs if that's comfortable. We're going to be here for just a little bit longer. So, taking one arm out to the side, it can be the same arm as the plant on a stand, and then turn that thumb down. This shoulder is going to kind of go back a little bit, not too much, just a little bit, so that we bring that hand to the small of our back. Now, it might be helpful to now round the shoulder forward. Otherwise, that elbow goes back, shoulder goes back. And then the hand can come around maybe to the opposite waist. There it is. And maybe grab it with opposite hand. And we're going to take our ear towards the shoulder. So away from the shoulder, but towards that hand. And then bring your chin towards your chest. And then we'll release that arm, turn the palms both open, reach up overhead, and then bend your elbows out to the sides. And reach your arms up, elbows out to the sides, and back up and to the sides. Good. Now straighten the other arm out, turning the palm away and grabbing your palm or your fingers, maybe shoulders and elbows back, and then ear towards shoulder. And then bringing your chin towards your chest. Unravel, palms up, and elbows go wide. Two more times, adding that breath, inhaling and exhaling. One more time. A little waking up of those arms, shoulders, and upper body. Let's do just a couple shoulder rolls here. Great. All right, now let's unravel the legs. And bringing the legs out in front with the knees bent. And just kind of moving your legs side to side. And then straightening out your legs, circling your ankles around both ways. And coming in. And then draw those knees in. All right, let's come to tabletop position. We won't be here very long on the knees. So in case this bothers your knees, you could pad them, but we're not here for very long. I'm just going to stretch out one leg and release that. Stretch out the other leg. And then lift those hips up, downward dog. Walk it out. And then walking your feet towards your hands, forward fold, folding over your legs. Lift up halfway, hands on the shins, flat back, and fold over your legs for a fold. Let's come back up, hands on the shins, flat back, and then folding over your legs. One more time. All right, bend your knees. Let's bring those arms all the way up, reach up, big good morning stretch. And press your palms up to the ceiling and then releasing your arms down. Wonderful. Okay, coming to the front edge of your mat. Well, you don't have to be at the edge, but towards the front. All right, moving through some sun salutations today. So bringing those arms out wide and lift up, big stretch up. And then on your exhalation, bend your knees, take your hands down to the floor, keep those knees bent, and step one leg back. Doesn't matter which one. You're going to keep that heel down onto the ground. Use your hands to bring yourself up. Warrior one, stretching those arms up. And then bend your elbows, lifting your chest. Take your arms back up. And then taking your hands down to the ground, stepping forward into a fold, bending those knees. Stepping your other leg back. Warrior one, press down into the feet and rise all the way up. Warrior one. Bend your elbows wide. And then let's take those arms back up and lower down. Step back, plank pose. Option is to have your knees down on the ground. Another option is to come onto your forearms. Another option, lift your knees. All right, now let's all come down to the floor for locust. Arms are going to go back, legs lift, lift your torso, locust. Option, cobra, legs down. Another option, upward dog, arms go straight and your hips lift. And coming down, let's lift up and back now to child's pose, moving the hips towards the heels. If this bothers your knees, you can keep those hips up high. Stretch your arms forward. You can also use a blanket under your seat behind the knees. Downward dog. Arms go straight and strong as we lift the hips. Walk forward, fold. Hands up on the shins, lengthen your spine and torso looking straight down at the floor. Fold over your legs, forward fold. Bend your knees, arms go out wide and up, palms together, hands to the heart. Let's repeat, shall we? Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen, hands on shins. Forward fold, hands down. Bend those knees, one leg goes back, heel down. Use your hands, to bring yourself up. Arms up, warrior one. You can have those arms shoulder distance or palms together. Bend your elbows out to the sides. Come back up. And then lower your arms down to the ground. Step forward, fold. And then step your other leg back. Heel down. Rise up. Warrior one. Open those elbows. And then reach your arms up. Take your hands down to the ground. Plank pose, option. Take your options. Knees lifted, knees down, forearms down. All right, let's come all the way down. Locust, hands free, or cobra, hands on the ground, legs on the ground, or upward dog. Coming down, up and back, child's pose, or happy puppy, or downward dog. So those are some options, whichever feels the best to you right now. Let's meet in downward dog or some variation thereof. And then walk your feet to your hands, forward fold. Bending the knees, we're going to lower the hips even lower for chair now. So drop your hips, your arms come up overhead. Make sure you can see your toes here as you lift the arms. Next, inhale, rise all the way up, and then bring your hands to your heart. And let's pause for a moment of stillness and catching our breath. We're going to repeat our sun salutation one more time. And then we'll do it yet another time with an added balance pose, but not thinking too far ahead now. Just want you to know kind of where we're headed. So, feeling your feet underneath you, feeling your body long and tall. Release your hands now to your sides. Inhale, reaching those arms up, palms up, bring those pinkies together maybe. Exhaling, bend the knees, forward fold, folding over your legs. Inhale, lengthen out. You feel the strength in your torso, your back. Exhale, forward fold, hands to the ground. One leg goes back, heel down. Press into both feet as you rise up, warrior one. Take those elbows wide as you breathe out. Are you using that victorious breath? Just notice if you are. It can be very supportive. Bring those arms up. Exhaling, hands down. Step forward. Other leg goes back. Heel comes down. Inhale, rise up, warrior one. Elbows wide and down. Hands coming down. Step back, plank pose. Maybe you're warmer now. Those knees stay lifted. Maybe they're not. And then we'll come all the way down to the ground. Cobra or locust. And then child's downward dog or happy puppy. We'll take 3 breaths wherever we've ended up. Maybe you need some deeper breaths. And then rising, downward dog. Step forward. Bend your knees. Chair. And then all the way up to mountain. And then hands release in front of the chest. Okay, so we're adding on our balance pose now for this last standing sequence. And so here's where if you have a wall or a sturdy piece of furniture, you might use it for this next thing here. Okay, so here we go. Inhale, bring your arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, fold. One leg goes back. Inhale and rise up. Exhale, elbows bend. Now, bring your arms back up. Lift your heel, reach forward. We're going to come into warrior 3. It might be helpful to have your hands on your legs, maybe your arms to your sides, out to the side, whatever you need. Maybe they're on that table. So you're going to reach that back leg up as you reach forward, kind of like Superman. As you reach, and maybe one foot doesn't even come off the ground. And then step back, warrior 1. Nice work, yogis. Bring it down, step forward, and fold. Second side, leg goes back. Rise up, warrior 1. Maybe you're feeling like you can go a little longer in your stance or lower. Elbows go wide. And then we're going to reach forward, lift off, Warrior 3, maybe arms to your sides. Touch back down, Warrior 1. How'd you do? And then take it down. Plank pose, step back. Now shift forward so the shoulders come in front of the wrists and then bend your elbows. Belly down, locust or cobra or upward dog. And then coming down, child's pose. Let's all meet in child's pose. Hips towards the heels, arms in any position that's comfortable. Last breath here. All right, come all the way onto your stomach and then onto your side facing the front. Bring your knees out in front of you and then going to come into a quad stretch, grabbing your top ankle or foot or shin. You also get a nice shoulder stretch here. And then bring that leg out in front of you. You can hold on to your calf or your ankle and draw your leg towards your chest. And then release that. And we'll switch sides. I'm going to press upright and come on to my other side this way. And grabbing that ankle. And then bringing your foot forward, leg forward. All right. We're going to make our way now onto our back. All right. Okay, feet a little wider than the hips. Just kind of rock those legs side to side. And then bring your feet back to hip distance, figure 4. Placing one ankle on the knee. You can stay there or thread your hands through to grab your leg. I find it easier to grab the back of my leg rather than the shin, but it's up to you depending on what's available or with the intensity of the sensation that you're looking for. And then lower that foot down, slide your knees together, and then twist, taking the knees down. You can look in the opposite direction. And just taking some deep breaths here. And unwind, coming on through the middle, and we'll do the other side. So adjust your torso, maybe straighten out a little bit, and then figure four, maybe threading those hands to the leg to support a little more increased intensity. You can also press your elbow against your knee. And then taking that foot down, crossing the knees and twisting. And then coming back to center, placing both feet down to the floor. And then send one leg straight up to the ceiling. You can draw, keep it right over the hip here by holding on to the back of your leg. You can have your hands come up higher. Another option to increase intensity is to straighten your bottom leg. And we can increase intensity yet by lifting head and shoulders up to or towards our leg. And then release. Let's switch sides. I need to start out with my knee bent. Just noticing if there's parts of you that feel tight, like the breath, if your breath isn't smooth and relaxed, then you're probably putting too much effort into it. So you want to back out a little bit of the posture. And then, but if you want more intensity, you can lift your head towards your leg. All right. Taking your leg down. Let's take a full body stretch. Tips of the toes, tips of the fingers. And then we'll do what I call banana pose. So you're going to walk your feet over to one corner of your mat, crossing the ankles. Another option is to add your side bend in your upper body. So kind of walking your torso over. You're going to feel hopefully a stretch along the waist and maybe the front of the hip or the outside of the leg. You can turn your head in any direction that feels suitable for you. Make sure those hips and heels and shoulders stay on the ground. And let's go to the other side. And release. We'll come back to center. We'll walk the feet in and then lift your hips up. And we'll lower back down all the way down. Let your knees fall together, feet a little wider. Bring one arm across your chest and then turn your head to that shoulder, stretching the neck. And then switching, other arm comes across, looking to your shoulder. And then release, letting your hands just rest comfortably. We've arrived at our final relaxation for about 5 minutes. So, getting yourself comfortable, if you'd rather be sitting or standing, I'm going to actually sit. I'll be using my blanket to sit on to guide you through this final stage of class. So, this is an integration period, time to really allow yourself to find the stillness that is invited in with the sound of my voice and a guided practice. So, being still sometimes can be one of the hardest things to do. And we might find that we feel restless. Maybe our mind is going a million miles an hour. And that's not uncommon. Know that. In fact, the point of this isn't to necessarily be still. Um, the point of this is to be present. So I invite you to see if you can get a little more comfortable. It might mean getting a little more restless, finding ways to, get more comfortable, maybe supporting something under your head, maybe covering your eyes or covering yourself with a blanket, depending on your body temperature. Just, checking in with your body and seeing what it is that you need. And then we'll move into more of this guided relaxation with some breathing exercises, some breathing counted breath work here. So, as we did earlier in the class, we were doing that victorious breath. So, I'd like to invite you to find that victorious breath here. So, if that was a comfortable breath, if not, then just a breathing in a way that feels okay to you. And as you breathe in, I want you to think about your breath not only moving in the upper chest, but it's moving in the middle chest and the lower ribs. So the lungs sort of triangular shaped, narrow at the top, wider at the bottom. So it might be harder to breathe in at the top. So really think about drawing that breath down and in as you're feeling from the inside out, your breath moving to the width of your torso, feeling the back of your torso, the front of your torso. And as you breathe out, there's sort of a narrowing or a compression going on, maybe in the torso alone. So not a constriction so much to say as much as a really a release. So let's begin now. Just letting your next exhalation go all the way out with ease. So we're breathing in to count to 5. It goes like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Pause. And then exhaling: 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and pause. Inhaling 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And exhaling 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Exhaling 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Exhale 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And now just letting the count go and just reside with the natural respiratory rhythm of your body, breathing. Just allowing, receiving your breath in and allowing the ease of your breath out. Breathing in and slowly letting it out. Finding your breath all the way to the end of the inhalation and all the way out to the end of the exhalation. Just a few more moments here in quiet, just hearing the sound of my voice and listening to the sound of your breath. And now begin noticing your surroundings, the sound in the room that you're in, maybe some distant sounds, identifying what those distant sounds are, identifying sounds in your room, hearing the sound of my voice, and beginning to awaken to any other sensations. If your eyes are closed or open, either way, just blinking them open and closed to find something out in front of you to focus your gaze upon. Maybe it's a color or a light, a texture that you can identify. And then as you awaken even more to the surface beneath you, noticing the texture, the sensation, maybe the warmth or the coolness. And begin to find some movement now. Once you've identified your surroundings, you're waking up the senses. Find some movement that brings you back to life, back to animation, back to the rest of your day. And once you feel ready to emerge, if you have been laying down or sitting, just coming to a comfortable position to finish our time together. I just want to thank you all so much for being here and for staying with me for today's class. It really has truly been an honor to guide your practice today.